to teach you about the congenital heart disease. So, congenital heart disease, it is a abnormalities of the heart or great vessels that are present at birth. Most of the congenital heart disease arises from the faulty embryogenesis. So, the congenital heart disease, it is a Latin word. So, the congenital con means together, genital means born. So, the abnormalities which are present from the birth, actually it occurs 7 months before birth, and most defects are compatible with the intrauterine life until a term birth. So the incidence of congenital heart disease, so account for 20 to 30% of the all birth defects, 8 to 10 per thousand live birth, approximately 1%, and incidence increases to approximately 3% with subsequent sibling. Risk increases with left-sided lesion, that is 15%, and also increases in offspring of the parents with congenital heart disease. Remains one of the greatest causes of neonatal mortality and morbidity and leading expense for neonatal health care. So incidence higher in premature infants and stillborn. Malformation ranges from severe to mild to entirely unrecognized during life. 9 in 1000 babies born in the UK. In many cases, it is a major minor problem which either does not need any treatment or can be successfully corrected with surgery. So the frequency of congenital malformation. So the uh, frequency of congenital malformation, the most common congenital malformation in the children is the VSD, that is ventricular septal defect, that ranges from 25 to 40%. A trial septal defect or the ESD 6 to 8% cases में, PDA 6-8%, coarctation of aorta, tetralogy of Fallot, pulmonary valve stenosis, aortic valve stenosis, transposition of great artery, and hypoplastic left ventricle. Right ventricle truncus arteriosus, total anomalous PVR, tricuspid atresia, single ventricle, double outlet, right ventricle, and other. So these are the relative frequency of the congenital malformation of the heart. So etiology of the etiology of congenital heart disease. So etiology of congenital heart disease, it is multifactorial. So in the maternal disease like diabetes, collagen disease like lupus, seizure disorder, and some medication. So some of the drugs are teratogenic like anticonvulsant, diazepam, progesterone, estrogen, alcohol, street drugs like cocaine, retinol A, lithium, thalidomide, lithium, warfarin, aspirin, and AC inhibitor. So these are the many drugs that are the teratogenic and that may lead to the congenital heart disease. Now genetic. In the genetic, the chromosomal abnormalities like trisomy 18. So trisomy 18 is the Patau syndrome, trisomy 15, 18 like Edwards syndrome, trisomy 21 is the Down syndrome. So these are the different genetic abnormalities. Turner syndrome, Daiger syndrome, Williams syndrome. So these are the different genetic abnormalities that may lead to the congenital heart disease. Environmentals like viral infection, usually the rubella and the cytomegalovirus, and some toxins. So the algorithm of the etiology of the congenital heart disease. So etiology of congenital heart disease like environmental factors and genetic factors. So environmental factors like rubella, teratogenic drugs, maternal disease, altered hemodynamics, genetics में abnormal chromosome structure, gene mutation, abnormal RNA, epigenetics and single nucleotide polymorphism. So these are the different etiological factors that may lead to the congenital heart disease. So these are the example of gene defect that are associated with the congenital heart disease. So the defects are the defects are the one is the defect in which the gene defects involved are the NCX 2.5, ESD or VSD. The gene defect are GATA4, tetralogy of Fallot. So these are the chart that is given in the Robbins. So these are the different examples of the gene defect that are associated with the congenital heart disease. Now come to the embryogenesis or embryogenic timeline to development of the heart. So the earliest cardiac precursor originate in the lateral mesoderm and move to the midline in two migratory waves to create a crescent of the cells consisting of first and second heart filled by about day 18 of the development. So there is a multipotent progenitor cells that can produce all of the major cell type of the heart like endocardium, myocardium and smooth muscle cells. By day 20, the initial cell crescent develop into a beating tubes which loops to the right and begins to form the basic heart chamber roughly 8 days later. So the week 3 there is a development of cardiogenic pellet and formation of the endocardial tubes. By week 4, fusion of the endocardial tubes to the single median tubes. First contraction start at day 22 and there is formation of cardiogenic looping. By week 5, beginning of the true circulation, septation of the primum atrium, AV valve to 3-chamber heart. So these are the development of the human heart. By day 20 there is a formation of endothelial tubes begin to fuse. By day 20 there is a heart start pumping. By day 24 heart continue to elongates and start to bend. By day 28 bending continue as ventricles moves caudally and arterium moves crenally, and by day 35 bending is complete and there is formation of the complete heart. By week 6 there is a development of septum secundum, septation of the bulbus and ventricle, and there is divided truncus arteriosus, and by week 7 there is a 4-chamber heart and absorption of the pulmonary veins occur. So how do you detect the congenital heart disease? A number of signs and symptoms that include a rapid heartbeat, rapid breathing, excessive sweating, extreme tiredness and fatigue, a blue tinge to the skin that is called cyanosis, tiredness and rapid breathing when a baby is feeding. Note that the mild defect may not cause any problems until later in life. So the types of congenital heart disease. So what are the different types of congenital heart disease? So one is the hole in the heart. So between two of the heart chamber there is a hole that is known as the septal defect. Other is the narrowing of the aorta. The main large artery of the body called the aorta is narrower than the normal, that is called coarctation of aorta. Narrowing of the valve which controls the flow of blood out of the heart to the lungs, that is pulmonary valve stenosis. And other is the pulmonary artery and aorta swap places. So that is known as transposition of the great vessels. So these are the different types of the congenital heart disorder. Now classification. So classification of the congenital heart disease. So one is the left to right shunting, other is the right to left shunt. In left to right shunt, one is the at the arterial level there is development of the ESD, and the other is the TA PVC. So TA PVC means the total anomalous pulmonary total anomalous pulmonary connection or the return at ventricular level. There is a VSD, greater artery level. There is development of PDA and AP window, truncus arteriosus. At coronary level, there is a ALCAPA. So ALCAPA, that is anomalous left coronary artery from the pulmonary artery and coronary fistula. In right to left shunt, there is a tetralogy of Fallot physiology and transposition of the great artery development. Now the left heart obstructive lesion. So some obstructive lesion that may also lead to the congenital malformation, like obstructed vein, mitral stenosis, aortic stenosis, coarctation of aorta, interrupted aortic curve, and hypoplastic left heart syndrome. In right heart, obstructive lesion like pulmonary stenosis or atresia, tricuspid stenosis, and hypoplastic right heart, either the single ventricle, others are the development of vascular rings, venous anomaly, and arteriovenous fistula. Now come to the one by one. So first is the left to right shunt lesion, that is also known as the acyanotic congenital heart disease. So acyanotic congenital heart disease that includes the ESD, that is arterial septal defect, VSD, ventricular septal defect, and there is a other is the AV, arterioventricular septal defect, that is the AVSD, and other is the PDA, patent ductal arteriosus. Now come to the ASD. So the arterial septal defect. So ASD, it is a opening in the arterial septum, so permitting free communication between the blood between the arteria, seen in 10% of the all CHD. So ASD, it is a abnormal and fixed opening in the arterial septum caused by the incomplete tissue formation that allow communication of the blood between the left and right arteria. So ASD are usually asymptomatic until the adulthood. So in the diagram you see there is a if there is a defect in the there is a arterial septum, that may lead to the arterial septal defect or the ASD. Now the three major types of the ASD. One is the secondum ASD, primum ASD, and sinus venosus ASD. In secondum ASD, it is the most common, 90% located in the region of the fossa ovalis and its surrounding. In 5% cases, there is a primum ASD. So there is a partial arterioventricular septal defect located near the lower part of the arterial septum. AB valves are typically malformed, resulting in various degree of the degurgitation, especially in the mitral valve, and in the sinus venosus ASD located high in the arterial septum, associated with the partial anomalous venous return, and it is the least common anomaly. So here you see in this diagram, so these are the all types of the ESD, that is the ESD secondum defect, ESD primum defect, and there is a coronary sinus defect. Now the different anatomic location. So superior sinus venous defect located near the superior vena cava, entry and associated with the partial or complete connection of the right pulmonary vein to the superior vena cava or the right atrium. The inferior sinus venous defect located near the inferior vena cava and unroofed coronary sinus separation from the left atrium can be partially or completely missed. The different types of the arterial septal defect. So these are the echo finding of the ESD. Now the pathophysiology. So ESD, in the ESD naturally there is a left to right shunting, so there is a higher blood pressure in the left atrium, so there is volume overloading of the right ventricle lead to the dilation of the right atrium and right ventricle. So right ventricular hypertrophy and dilation of the pulmonary artery occur, so increase of the transpulmonary flow that may lead to the reactive higher pulmonary vascular resistant, and that is the pulmonary hypertension development. So here in the diagram show the ESD. So arrow depict flow of the red blood from left atrium to the right atrium across the ESD. So there is a dilated right atrium and the right ventricle. So this is in the diagram. So you are all of you clearly seen there is a dilation of the right atrium and right ventricle in the arterial septal defect. So one is the Eisen-Menger syndrome. So Eisen-Menger syndrome means reversal of the flow of the blood and shunting of the unoxygenated blood into the systemic circulation. So reversal of the shunt into the cyanotic right to left shunt occur. Other is the paradoxical embolism. So paradoxical embolism, so there is a development of venous emboli from lower limb, that is deep leg vein, through ESD and goes to the systemic circulation and may lead to the different CNS involvement or the mental problems. Clinical signs and symptoms of ESD. So the ESD rarely present with signs of congestive heart failure or other cardiovascular symptoms. Most are asymptomatic but may have easy fatigability and mild growth failure. Cyanosis does not occur unless pulmonary hypertension is present. Now come to the ventricular septal defect, that is the VSD. So in the VSD, the ventricular septal defect, in the VSD, there is a incomplete closure of the ventricular septum, allowing the free communication of the blood between the left to right ventricle. They may lead to the free communication. So these are the most common form of the congenital heart disease. So these are the abnormal opening in the ventricular septum which allow free communication between the right and left ventricle and account for 25% to 40% of the all congenital heart disease. So there is 4 types of the VSD. One is the perimembranous, infundibular, muscular, and AVSD. Perimembranous or the membranous is the most common variant. Infundibular involves the right ventricular outflow tract. Muscular can be single or multiple, and arterioventricular septal defect. So inlet VSD always involve the arterioventricular valvular abnormality. So these are the different 4 types of the VSD. So in the diagram you see the all variants of the ventricular septal defect, like the infundibular, perimembranous or membranous, and other is the inlet or AV canal types. Now the pathophysiology of the VSD. In the VSD, naturally there is a left to right shunt, so there is a much higher blood pressure in the left ventricle. So due to the volume overload, there is a left ventricular dilation, and due to the pressure overload, there is a right ventricular hypertrophy. So there is an increase of the transpulmonary flow and blood pressure in the pulmonary artery may lead to the reactive increase in pulmonary vascular resistance and may lead to the pulmonary hypertension. So severe pulmonary hypertension, and there is a bidirectional sun, so there is a development of the Eisenmenger physiology or Eisenmenger syndrome is developed early in the life within first year of the life. So these are the echo finding of the VSD. Now the clinical sign and symptom. So if the ventricular septal defect is small, so in the moderate VSD, size is 3 to 6 millimeter, are usually asymptomatic and 50% will close spontaneously by the age of 2 years without any treatment. If moderate VSD or the large VSD almost always have the symptom and will require surgical repair. Now the AVSD, the arterioventricular septal defect, it results from the incomplete fusion of the endocardial cushion, which helps to form the lower portion of the arterial septum, the membranous portion of the ventricular septum, and the septal leaflet of the tricuspid and mitral valves. They account for 4% of the all congenital heart disease. Now come to the arterioventricular septal defect. So these are the diagram that show the complete AVSD. So AVSD. So AV is complete arterioventricular septal defect. So there is the clinical sign and symptom of the AVSD. There is a incomplete AVSD may be the indistinguishable from the ESD, because usually these are the asymptomatic congestive heart failure in infancy, recurrent pulmonary infection, failure to thrive, exercise intolerance, easy fatigability, and late cyanosis from the pulmonary vascular disease with right to left shunt agar. Now come to the PDA, patent ductus arteriosus. So in the PDA, there is the ductus arteriosus arises from the pulmonary artery and joined to the aorta just distal to the origin of left subclavian artery. During the intrauterine life, it permits flow of blood from pulmonary artery to the aorta, thereby bypassing the unoxygenated lung. So the PDA persistent of the normal fetal vessels that join the pulmonary artery to the aorta just distal to the origin of left subclavian artery. Normally, the PDA closes in the first week of life, accounts for 10% of the all congenital heart disease and seen in the 10% of the other congenital heart lesion, and can often play a critical role in some lesions. Male to female to male ratio is 2:1 and often associated with the coarctation of aorta and ventricular septal defect. So these are the diagram that show the PDA, patent ductus arteriosus. Now the clinical sign and symptom of the PDA. A small PDA are usually asymptomatic. Large PDA can result in symptoms of congestive heart failure, growth restriction, and failure to thrive. Bounding arterial pulse, widened pulse pressure, enlarged heart, and prominent apical impulse, classical continuous machinery systolic murmur, and mild diastolic murmur at the apex. So bounding pulse. So bounding arterial pulse means so pulse feel strong, and widened pulse pressure means there is a large or wide difference between the systolic and diastolic pressure. So as a result of higher aortic pressure, blood shunt left to right through the ductus from the aorta to the pulmonary artery occur. So a small PDA, pressure in the pulmonary artery, right ventricle and right atrium are the normal. In large PDA, the pulmonary artery pressure are equal to the systemic pressure and lead to the increased pulmonary vascular disease. So these are all about the congenital heart disease. ये cyanotic congenital heart disease है, ये cyanotic congenital heart disease like ASD, VSD and PDA. So in which there is a left to right shunting occurs. Thank you.